Tales from my D&D campaign.
Previously,
Zahir has needed to be rescued for some time now. Zahir was being transferred to a mountain stronghold deeper in Swain's territory. One of the possibilities, according to the Rajas, was that you meet the Guardian and don't fight it. Have you brought that back to me? The Ring of Sloth. Can we ask for it? I could give you 24 hours. Black casts Find the Path.
What if it's not a literal maze? It's psychological or something.
Hit this guy in the head with your shovel, get the keys in your sweaty, grimy little fingers, run for your life. And the room fades back in around you. Oh, that's it? I was kind of expecting worse. Those who failed their saves take 1d6 damage as you run into the wall. And you're disoriented for a minute from the power of this experience that was forced on you. The darkness is gone. Dark vision and all your light sources are working fine. Mora's green flame torch, Draven's crossbow flashlight, etc. You can't tell how long you were trapped in that vision, but you aren't hungry or thirsty, so it doesn't seem like much time passed. Angel searches the area while they get their bearings, but she, Mora, and Draven can find no obvious source or mechanism that can explain this experience. Is Find the Path still going on? Black still has Find the Path. Natural 20. Black, you notice some kind of debuff affecting everyone who failed their save. They each have 5 points of positive energy resist. Positive? We resist healing? Yes, and Black's best guess is it would last for hours. You believe you could clear one charge with a remove curse or break enchantment spell. 1 charge per person if the spell has multiple targets. Wait, charges? Yeah, it's actually 1 charge per person. I like your charges system. Getting 5 hit points less for each healing effect wasn't enough to be worth those spells, not right now. Especially since they aren't hurt. Mostly.
Before we go any further, if we're going to be hallucinating, we should probably tie ourselves together.
No, I like that. Tie ourselves together so we don't physically get separated. They use Little One's rope to tie themselves in a human chain, with 10 feet of slack between each of them, reasoning that if they needed to separate, they could easily cut the rope. Angel in particular was on a hair trigger for cutting herself loose.
Or slip out, with Escape Artist.
Rounding a bend, they follow a steep downward tunnel until one wall drops away, revealing a wide open area. A great natural fissure which narrows into a crevice some distance above them, but stretches down far below the reach of the green flame torches at the corners of the 70-foot stone bridge. They can see one more bridge 100 feet further down, with some thick white cables stretching haphazardly across the chasm. However, Find the Path directs Black to cross the bridge straight ahead. But the spell doesn't actually warn about traps. If you fell down a pit, it would tell you how to get out after we fall down the pit. Angel, go underneath. Thanks to your rope, you actually need to go a fair ways onto the bridge if you want her to get down around the arch supports while staying within your 10-foot slack.
I'm just assuming the bridge is rigged to fall.
Nothing bad happens, though, as they cross about a third of the way, allowing Angel to spider climb around to the bottom. You find a band of glowing purple runes deeply engraved across the bottom of the bridge from end to end. You cast Read Magic, find out they say, these are explosive runes.
We'll cast Spider Climb on Mora, get her down here.
Mora can't quite decipher the purple runes, but she does find that there's a greater glyph of warding mixed in there, which would trigger a cloud kill spell if the other runes are tampered with. Wait, those runes aren't the cloud kill. The cloud kill is if the runes are messed with? Yes, that wasn't too hard to discern with spellcraft. The purple runes being protected by the greater glyph of warding are a little more advanced, or more rare anyway. I could just go first. I thought we had a mass fly going on. You still do. So we could just fly over or around it.
Mora only got 22 on her Arcana check. Maybe you could do better?
Almost certainly. Okay, just hanging out under the bridge hasn't had any ill effects. I'll go down there and take a look. You're just going to fly around there to see the runes for yourself? Yes, staying as close as possible to the bridge. Okay, you don't actually need your check, because what the rune does is nullify all forms of flight magic. You're like, ah! As you swing closer to the runes, because you don't want to trigger the cloud kill. But then you swing back the other way, and now you're just a pendulum, so you know you can't swing any higher. I'll pull you up. Once back on the bridge, your flight starts working again. With a little experimentation, they determined that the runes project a wide cone outward and downward, which suppresses any flight or levitation magic. So we have to go over the bridge. We can fly over the bridge? Can we fly beside the bridge? That's not what is preventing.
Okay, so what's the purpose of this? Preventing people from flying below the bridge? Preventing people from flying up?
Out of the chasm. Well, this is the plane that has the Underdark. This thing could go down, like, infinitely, in theory.
So there could be drow coming up. They do cast levitate.
After a lot of paranoid planning, they fly across the bridge. It's fine. Still keeping off the ground, they follow the ledge around to a tunnel which goes about 15 feet, then stops dead. Another stone door. Find the path is like, right this way. Then you get here and it's like, oh, you want to go through the door. You need to go down that way to activate a rune near the lower bridge.
Okay, Elder Mountain hammer the door.
The rest of us untie from him.
I don't think you have time.
I back up as far as I can without stepping onto the bridge.
29 damage, ignoring hardness.
You make some cracks. You are definitely causing damage, but it's not only a huge heavy slab of stone, but you suspect it's magically toughened to some degree. Little one can Elder Mountain hammer every second round, but it looks like this will take a number of hits. So Angel slips out of the ropes, casts invisibility, and scouts down with spider climb, since the runes don't seem to affect that. 50 feet down, you're like, whoa, hey, because your dark vision stops about 20 feet below that bridge. There's some kind of magical darkness down there, but we don't have to go below that bridge, do we? Don't think so. After several more Elder Mountain Hammer strikes, water sprays out from the extremely tough stone door, but after the 5th strike, a torrent of water blows Little One out, briefly dangling from the party's rope, before settling down to a steady flow down a 5x5 vertical shaft.
What's behind that?
Another door.
Find the path still say the same thing?
Says to go through the door that's straight ahead.
How does it say to open that door?
Same thing, a rune near the lower bridge.
Whatever, I'm heading down.
Tired of this brute force approach, Angel heads down to explore the hint provided by Black's Find the Path spell. This time, as she descends, she passes near one of the thick white cables that span the chasm. That's not a cable. It's a strand of webbing. Not like the trap part, just the structural part for walking on.
How big is this web?
It's about 6 inches thick. The hell?
That gives you a spider of what, like 100 yards wide? Good luck, Angel. On the plus side, it probably won't see you as food. Hopefully it doesn't see me at all, because I'm invisible.
As you reach the level of the lower bridge, there's a 5-foot archway on either side of the chasm. The near one, on your side, just leads to a 15 by 60 room.
Does it smell strongly of spider?
Not really. The spider scent is definitely much stronger behind you. The room, almost more of a hallway, is basically empty, save for a small alcove on the left. Inscribed in that recessed wall, she finds some kind of rune with 5-fold symmetry.
How do you trigger the rune to open the door?
I don't know. Black would know, if he was there. He's got to be near it or see it or something, though.
God damn it.
I don't want to go down there. So broken. That's fine. Do we have climbing pitons, or...?
There's a giant spider down here. How much falling damage is it?
1d6 per 10 feet.
So, only 10d6?
If you're dropping down intentionally instead of falling, that knocks off a die. And if you tumble, you can shave off another, so you'd only take 8d6. 3-point landing. Is there anywhere to tie a rope? The bridge supports would work, but you would need 100 feet of rope to descend, plus enough slack to secure it. That's for the end that's closer to the upper bridge. It would take a lot more to go down to the same end of the bridge as Angel.
I wish I could just drop down.
He doesn't want to climb. He wants to take 8d6 damage. But it's cool.
It would be cool. That's the thing. Okay, wait, sample roll, right? 32 damage. That would leave me with 138 HP. Sorry, 132 from running into the wall. That wall kicked your ass. Max damage, man. We're so powerful. Falling damage is inconsequential. I can just drop down 100 feet and be fine. I've taken more combat damage in a round from a single creature. Well, I don't know if it's inconsequential. If you miss the bridge, it won't be inconsequential. I don't like the idea of going down a rope and not having a flight spell. Raven doesn't even have to climb. We can just lower him down. Then you'll have both hands for crossbow. I like it. Sold! You guys do have rope, right? Adventurers of your level? I have 100 feet of rope, so if anybody else has rope, we're good. I have a hat, a monocle, sun rods. Angel has rope, but she's already down there. Who needs rope to climb things? Whatever. I will make a ton of rope. Minor creation lasts for 12 hours. I make like
12 cubic feet of rope.
So they tie the rope however the heck they want and make their way down, though even the powerful light from Draven's photon accelerator stops dead at the supernatural darkness below them. Once in the room...
That rune is activated by a magic missile spell. You just hit each of the 5 quadrants with a magic missile.
Alright, I craft a temporary magic missile scroll. Has to be level 9 to do 5 missiles. Check.
You can hear the distant flow of water changing. The water sounds like it's coming out lower down now. Find the Path tells you, oh yeah, you need to go back up there. So that's all good news. And then you're all engulfed in darkness. I grab the closest person.
We're not all tied together right now, are we?
Nope, used that rope.
Damn it.
Draven grabs the closest person, but very quickly loses track of them.
You're brought back to consciousness by jarring pain in your left arm. Make a new will save, but with +4 if you previously saved. Looking down, you can't help but feel a certain grim pride. It cost you an arm, but you managed to kill most of the drow slavers and drove off the human collaborators, rescuing your childhood village and avenging all your childhood friends.
I'm feeling good now. I don't care if I lost my arm.
Am I the same guy who beat up Ralph that time? Yes, but obviously older now. Standing up, you flex your new bony fist. You've known enough to perform this ritual for some time now, known how much power you'd gain, but you'd been unwilling to make the sacrifice. You should probably thank that drow and his scimitar. Walking out of the hut, you take in your surroundings. The dim sun of the Shadowfell like a mere moon glowing through the world's misty ceiling. The townspeople move around furtively, as though afraid the drow could return at any time, which seems unlikely, given what you did to them. That one you reanimated is still burying the others outside of town, though the shaman will have to perform the rite on them soon, so they don't come back in a less helpful capacity. Oh, there he is now, hobbling over with some of the others. Your expression turns grim as you realize they are still terrified. You're each alone, each in your own reality. What do you say to them? And roll another saving throw. What concerns you? Do you question what I have done? At least we now know for sure they won't be back.
Do I know who I am? How much do I remember?
Having failed your save, you don't have your own memories. It's up to you how much of the core of your personality shines through. Mostly, all you remember is your escape as a child, and the necromantic battle you just won against the evil Dark Elves. Though, all these things are familiar. You feel like you know everything you need to, even though I couldn't describe that knowledge to you.
I say nothing.
Wait, did I lose the flesh from my arm? Or did the scimitar cut it off and I reanimated? Yeah, these aren't your original bones.
We've come a long way from shoveling.
They know that what they say in their vision affects their saving throw, but they don't know whether they should be true to themselves or try to emulate this life they are inhabiting or try to correct the mistakes of the past.
Thank you once more for freeing us, but we have to find a new place to live as soon as possible. The drow won't stand for this.
You almost argue. The way you cleared them out, right now you feel like you could accomplish anything, but no. You know that if the Spider Empire put its legs down, you aren't powerful enough to resist them.
We are going to head west, where they fear to tread, and then try to lose them by skirting the border of the vampire's kingdom until we can find safer lands.
I'll try to slow them down. I think that would be a very good idea. Fine, you go. I will stay and wait for them. Kill 'em all. You're all starting to break free, becoming more aware of yourselves, even though you're still trapped in the 5 senses of this vision or whatever it is. Perhaps because of this, you're all seeing the same thing now. If this is in fact someone's memory, the memory itself continues the way that person remembers it. The Vampire Lands. A dangerous gamble, but I may be able to hide us all from Swain's notice.
We think it would be better if you and we head our separate ways. The drow will surely use their magic to hunt you down. The rest of us are surely beneath their notice.
And suddenly you realize the villagers are trembling. They're as afraid of you as they are of the drow or even the evil undead. After all you've done for them, after all you've sacrificed, they don't even see you as one of them who escaped all those years ago. You aren't their triumphant hero. You're like some monster that lumbered out of the brush and stepped on their oppressors.
and they'll be relieved when you are gone.
You're filled with anger. Anger at them, but more at the injustice, and you do nothing. You mumble brief goodbyes, gather your gear and spell components from the shack and shamble out into the woods. You don't know where to go. You spent a decade focused on the goal of rescuing these people, and now a scimitar comes down at you from behind. Your new fleshless hand whips out and seizes the attacker's wrist, causing him to yelp hoarsely, dropping the stolen drow weapon. You turn to find the old, wary, and frankly ugly face of a man you knew, a man who already owes some of his scars to you. Ralph, the collaborator, the former slave driver, the nightmare face of your youth. You see the cowardly, impotent hatred in his eyes, and your rage flares. I spared you and the others to show you, to show the village, to show myself that I am a better person. But mercy has limits. He coughs and grunts in shock and pain as your tight skeletal grip tightens further like a clamp. You feel the life force begin to drain from him, then change your mind. You don't want anything he has. Channeling negative energy through your bony fingers, his body writhes, sputters, screams as blood vessels burst, organs splatter, and in seconds, the flesh explodes from his body in a neat 270-degree arc, the gore cleanly missing you. You grasp tighter, focusing even more energy for a moment, then you release the bones of his forearm, turn, and continue walking away. With a creaking sound, the skeleton slowly rises and lurches into step, following you. Of course, before the rest of you wake up, thanks to making all her saves, Angel woke up around earlier, when she was hit by a glob of web, entangling her and dragging her back towards the chasm. I get a 20. Escape artist. I'm hoping the spider is chaotic evil. Can I see a spider? Yes. Well, no, not really. All you see is a big spider head. The spider is not evil, so no extra damage from his currently holy crossbow, but Draven hits it for 17 damage, then again for 16. The second one was a crit, but with damage rolls so terrible it came out like a normal hit. As a swift action, I summon a mini fire elemental with distracting ember to give me flanking. 24? 24 will hit. It's quite large and not super armored, and not immune to crits. Take 25. As it becomes bloodied, it makes a terrible, squealing shriek, but it releases the wall or whatever it was holding and drops down into the darkness.
More spiders?
Probably more. Mora can dimension door us up.
Teleportation not working, because of the spirit shackle.
Me and Black will stay down here while Angel and Mora's spider climb up, covering Draven as he uses the rope.
Do we want to stay grouped down here and fight for a while? Just putting it out there.
We don't know what we're defending against.
No, we don't know how long this will take, and we don't want to wait around.
I'm inclined to agree. I just wanted to put that out there.
Once you're up top, they can all cover us. How close are the webs to the bridge?
The strands are pretty far apart. A 20-foot gap is a small step for a gargantuan spider.
If I get stuck in a web, blistering radiance.
If they aren't flat webs, they aren't necessarily sticky.
Spiders have buttloads of different types of web. Literally.
Buttloads.
Most of them aren't sticky, actually.
I just want to draw their attention.
The fact that they have tremor sense means they can probably feel the vibrations. A head rises up with red glowing eyes. Which is interesting, because the previous spider had spider eyes. Bring it on, mama b****.
It's a half-fiendish spider.
And you're pretty 1,000,000% sure this one's evil.
Well, I kind of want to kill it now.
It casts Horrid Wilting. That's like an 8th level spell. The spell deals 71 desiccation damage in a huge area, hitting all but Daggerface. Yet it's only DC 19, so everyone saves for half. You're lucky its casting stats are terrible. I don't like that it's casting spells at all. The wounded spider rises out of the darkness, but fails to bite Little One. Angel crossbow crits for 22 and hits a second time, but somehow only for 5. It's much more happy with the 5s. Stick with the 5s. Draven, you're hit by a glob of web shooting up from the darkness directly below you, and you're entangled. So you're pretty sure there's a third spider down there. Dwarf Daggerface runs out, and he thinks twice. He was going to climb up behind Draven, but now that looks bad. Daggerface, run back in the room.
Okay.
He runs back in the room, but gets himself an angle here and tosses a throwing axe at the half-fiendish spider. He hits, but he does no damage. This thing has the crappiest, most worthless damage reduction there is. Meaningless to you guys, but these are his backup weapons, and they're obviously not magical.
I can't get to the big one over there, can I?
It can cast spells. It's not coming over to you. You can cast back.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, Sound Lance.
Roll spell resistance?
Spell resistance 2. Of course there is.
Half Fiendish is the strong template. Full-on Fiendish is weakest, but half Fiendish is pretty dangerous if the creature has a lot of hit dice. It saves for half, but still takes 21 damage. That still shows it that it isn't safe over there.
Yeah, but
Probably hasn't taken that much damage in centuries. At least it'll remember us.
I'm gonna shout at it, because I'm pretty sure it can understand me. Come and fight me!
Or you'll keep prying his face.
For all it knows, I can just keep casting that. I wish I had some way to taunt it. It has me taunted, because it's fiendish. I wonder if I can tell it that I'm, like, the opposite.
Well, it's suggested in places in the books that clerics of a certain level have a sort of aura. Certainly, after casting a spell at it, it can probably tell that you're an unfriendly, high-level cleric of some type.
Come at me, Arachne. Yeah.
Should I attack the big one or the small one? The one on the bridge is pretty hurt.
I'm gonna tell you to shoot the small one. In fact, I yell it out. Attack the baby!
If it's her baby, though, wouldn't that piss her off, too?
No, it'll be my order. I've got the big one aggroed on me.
Shoot the big one, because I can't attack the big one. Well, you can, just not in a way that doesn't involve suicidally leaping at it into the darkness. Don't tempt me with suicidal bomb run, because I'll f***ing do it.
Actually, does falling damage cap at 20d6?
Yep.
I can fall any distance, really. It hurt like a son of a bitch, but I can do it.
That's what I'm saying. As long as there is a bottom, as long as I land somewhere eventually, I could take this mother down. Then I take 20d6, I'd probably survive. I Orb of Force. There's no SR against it, so 31 force damage.
Way to piss her off. If it has no save, you're gonna be pissed off.
You may have generated a negative opinion.
Should have attacked the baby.
-1 reputation with Fiendish Spider. Not getting a Christmas card anymore.
Webs are very susceptible to burning, right? If I lay down a blistering radiance, their webs would burn, they would fall.
They could climb up the wall. Yeah, but they couldn't use their web to... Removing the webs would drastically reduce their maneuverability. Right now, as far as you can tell, they have pretty much all the three-dimensional maneuverability they want. And you guys don't, because you can't fly down here.
Know what would be funny? Find out that just below that blackness, we think it's a long-ass way down. Find out it's just like 10 feet down. It's just ground.
Gotta be more than 10 feet to hide these f***ers. I'll run over and slash the web off Draven. The webbing is so tough that it actually DRs her physical damage, but it takes the elemental damage and lights on fire. The strand has a couple HP left, which may burn off on its own. Will certainly be easier for Draven to break out now, though he may get burned a bit. I'm next. You've got the one that's still alive. Barely. I use my new maneuver, Avalanche of Blades. You won't get much of an avalanche. I won't roll damage yet, but just gonna keep attacking till I miss with -4 each time. What's its AC? Not good. His AC is 19. Okay, hit, hit, hit. Next one is at -12. Okay, I missed. Yeah, you overkilled it. That was very satisfying. You're next. Rah! Also, Moracast taste.
Can I summon my fist on top of them?
I don't think we can set that precedent. The item is supposed to summon an elephant. I think balance requires that any summoned or conjured creature appear in appropriate terrain. In the air, only if it flies. In water, only if it can swim. Otherwise, on the ground. Of course, once you summon it on ground that can support it, you can't just order it to jump off. It's a summon. Who cares? Summon it on a ledge 100 feet up, have it drop down. Now, the thing the mistress is most concerned about is that spell she couldn't resist. Oh, for f***'s sake.
Maybe you should have went with baby.
Draven, you need to make a DC 18 Fortitude save, and you really want to make it? It's casting Destruction on you. You fail, just die? It's like Divine Disintegrate, but does a lot more damage if you survive. And it's DC 18? So I only fail on a 1, but I feel that now that I've said that... Whew, that's good, because that's one of those ones where they'd have to true res you.
I'd be heartbroken.
Only DC 18? Yes, garbage casting stats. It's getting spell-like abilities from its template. It's nowhere near clever enough to cast these spells through a class. So take 37 points of damage. I'm going to trigger my Ring of Mystic Defiance, which I forgot last time, and take 10 damage less.
Then it's going to dip back down into the darkness. The other spider, the one you can't see, is going to entangle Mora. Burn them all!
I'm gonna burn that shit. Is it safe yet?
No.
Damn it, I want to do something!
You can do something after if Draven's below half health.
Oh yeah, I'm bloodied. I'm so bloodied. I cast Blistering Radiance below the bridge. Does that do anything about the darkness? The massive eruption of divine light and fire is 50-foot radius, more than enough to fill the chasm wall to wall, though not all the way lengthwise, and stretches 100 feet down from the lower bridge. They can either burn or come out of there. And it should destroy all the webs.
Roll spell resistance?
28?
Nope. Its SR is based on hit dice, and it has a lot of hit dice. It is hurting any non-fiendish spiders down there, giving everything -1 to hit. The webs are smoldering, but they're so tough and thick, they seem to be holding up. But we can see them now. Yes, because Blistering Radiance, especially the priest version, is a light spell which is higher level than the darkness, and you can see that there was in fact sheet web further down, the catching trapping kind, which burns away, though it was tough enough that it took a whole round of the fire. Oh yeah, the half-fiendish spider has huge armored talons on his front legs, unlike the others, and it should be noted it has huge bat wings.
Really?
Angel convinces Draven that Mora can do the healing he needs, so he Force Wands instead, only to roll an abysmal 23 damage. On Angel's turn, her clothing morphs into the Ataran hazmat suit with 12 fire resist, making her immune to the blistering radiance, and she spider climb tumbles down the wall to strike at the normal spider. As far as I know, Mama can keep casting disintegrates all day long. I jump onto her back. Okay, it's directly underneath you. It's big. It's not that hard for you to drop down and do something to it, but you'll have to make a reflex save afterwards to stay on it. If you fail, you might get another chance or two from the smoldering cable webs down there. With Inferno Blade as a boost, a Revitalizing Strike. He hits it pretty hard, managing 35 damage even though the Mistress resists 10 lightning and 10 of his fire damage. And I heal 22, -5 from that healing resist, so 17 hit points. And booyah! 30 reflex. So you landed easily. And good job remembering the stupid heal resistance, but I'm afraid you got another one of those doom charges from the last Dark Visions, so you heal 5 less again. Do we all have another charge? Nope, it resulted from a failed save. Mora wriggles free of the web, but that took her action, so she'll have to heal Draven on her next turn. As for the Mistress, you're on her back. Yep, try casting now. She's going to try to shake you off, which I'm going to call a move action for her. Reflex 30 if you want to hang on and have a free hand to attack. If you get at least 25, you can stay on, but it'll take both hands, so you'll have to either spend your action pulling yourself up, or make an attack and fall off. Nope, didn't quite get the 30. But logically, she can't actually attack you. And the spells she has left aren't worth risking an attack of opportunity. She makes a shrieking noise, trying to call the other one to get him off, but it refuses. She doesn't care about the fire, but the other spider is trying to get the hell out of it, even though Angel is able to hit it for another 13 as an attack of opportunity. Have I been healed yet? No, but Mora's putting herself in the way. Is that thing flying? Not currently. I hope it tries to fly. Dwarf Daggerface comes out, trying to figure out how to attack the nearest spider, who is looking away right now and whose leg is just out of reach. He grabs the bottom of the rope, wraps his arm around it, like a lot, like possibly too much, to the point that it might be hard to get out, and he swings over to attack. Hit! He can't really use a maneuver like this, he's not a boss like Little One, but he hacks at the spider leg for relevant damage. Take that, you bug-eyed bastard! Black casts Holy Transformation, which we agreed should actually let him fly, because the spell normally gives you physical wings for the duration. We just weren't picturing them because of his particular theme.
Then Belt of Battle and full attack. Is he 24 with charging bonus?
-1 from Blistering Radiance, you miss.
Man.
From his own spell. Did you count the +1 from haste?
No.
Then you hit. And he hits again and again. He does 24, 22, then 24 more points of damage.
We're hasted. Take another 26.
The eyes are getting crushed down one side of its head, but it has a lot of spares, and it didn't get a proper attack during its turn, so with its dying breath, it's going to bite you. Smite good. Black can actually feel the evil force of its charged mandibles
but it fails to penetrate his armor, and as the fangs slide off, the half-fiendish spider begins to fall away, with Little One still clinging to it.
Can Little One jump to me?
No, there's a lot of spider between the two of you. He's going to have to make a reflex save to determine how far he falls before he can catch a strand, which is actually more dangerous now that the sheet web is burned away. You're working without a net. Reflex 14, 20 feet for every 2 points, by which he fails. No, wait, immediate action maneuver. I get 29 instead. So, what's Find the Path say? You activated the room, so it says back up to the door.
Have they found the treasure room? And will they find Zahir near the treasure as they hoped? Next time on Tales from My D&D Campaign.
Now that the spiders are gone, the darkness washed away by the light, and the sheet webs burned away, you can see a cave some distance below. There are no ledges or bridges down there. Could be treasure.
Black doesn't care about treasure, but I'm thinking there could be more. Like eggs and shit.
You'll take damage from the blistering radiance, unless you dismiss it.
2 rounds of 2d6 fire, easy fortitude for half?
We'll take it.
The light of the radiance reveals that the cave does in fact contain a number of egg sacs towards the back.
And any of them could be fiendish.
There's not a lot of treasure. They find the drained body of some unrecognizable humanoid, a set of black studded leather armor, some studs from other studded leather, which has decayed away to almost nothing, and 75 gold worth of currency scattered around from various bodies.
If the black leather's magical, might be an upgrade for Daggerface.
Whatever. Nuke the site from orbit.
Is there, like, a use for spider eggs?
No.
For magic or alchemy? Not like to train them. Well, maybe? Orcs mounted on spiders.
No. We're not bringing the hell spiders back to our dimension.
There's no way you're convincing Black to do any of that.
Must take a long time for them to grow so big anyway. Yeah, fine. Okay. I breath weapon it. 5 damage?
One of the egg sacs seems a little more resistant, but that's too much for the larvae, or whatever they are.
Oh, I nuked them a few more times. Those were hell spiders. I kind of want to see what the baby hell spiders look like. Like, baby animals are cute. Are these cute?
GM ruling, they are not cute.